Hi, hello, and welcome back to the channel. Now, if you have watched any of my other videos, you know that I love making stories and I love designing characters. So here's another set of characters from another story. This story is called the Goethe Experiment. Probably should have picked a name that I can actually pronounce properly, but it's very important to this story that the name is that. So I won't spoil why it's called the Goethe Experiment, so just put a pin in that for now. So for this story, there are three main characters, and I'm going to introduce them in this video. I also have some side characters that I will introduce in another video, and I love them as well, but these are the main characters, so let's talk about them first. First up on the list, we have Teresa. That's the woman you see me drawing on the screen at the moment, and you know what, let me explain what the story is about first before I go on. It's a sci-fi story, and they came up with a short summary of it. When Jalen's best friend and cousin are trapped during a routine call for help, she teams up with a prisoner to rescue them, falling headfirst into a conspiracy that goes all the way to the top of the Space Marine food chain. I know it sounds a little confusing, I haven't even explained who Jalen is, but that's what the story is about, and once I explain the characters, you'll get the hang of it. So this first character, her name is Teresa. She is the prisoner from the summary that Jalen then asks for help. She was from a failed colony, but everybody on the colony died except for her and one other person who I will talk more about him in another video, but they were the only two people who survived, and because of that, the two of them joined the military very young. She was 13, he was like 18 or so. He's a bit, or maybe older. I haven't decided what age I'm going to make him, but he was the older one, like the older brother figure. She then worked her way up and became a captain of a rescue ship, which she loved. She really, really loved her job as like a person who gets called in when people need help, whether it's ships, their air tank is gone, or on planets where there's a natural disaster or something. They're the people that are called in to rescue. They do patrols, all of that. Now one day, her ship gets a call to go to this planet. She's called by the guy to go to this planet and help out some people in a lab. They go, and there's a massive explosion and everybody dies. Everybody from the lab and everybody who was on her crew, except her. Which was kind of weird because she should have been in the blast radius, but she wasn't, because of reasons that will be explained in the story. She then made her own rescue call, which is when Jalen and Neela's ship comes, only to get arrested. But she made a rescue call, so why did she get arrested? That's one of the questions that will be answered in the story. She does, in fact, realize that she was set up, and she wants to know why, because she already knows who did the setting up. She just doesn't know why he would set her up. So yeah, that's part of the mystery. What happened at the lab? Why was she set up? And she also really wants to find the guy and introduce him to a few bullets. Or an entire clip of bullets. That's her goal. So, out of the three of them, she's actually the oldest, but only by a few years. The reason why she feels a lot older is because she has so much experience in comparison to them, because they're new. I'll explain more when I reach to their stories. But yeah, they're new, so she doesn't even really want them to join her on this mission, but she doesn't exactly have a choice because she's not a pilot. And also they're grown women, so she can't tell them what to do. She's not their captain. Until later, she becomes their captain, but at the moment, she's not their captain. And also, she does need help, which makes sense in episode 2, that I have already written, by the way. So yeah. I'm also going to give her romance. You'll meet her love interest in the next video where I introduce the side characters. And their romance is one based in lies. Like I said, I'll explain more when we get to his story. For right now, we're talking about Teresa. She's also one of those characters that has very bad coping mechanisms and she sucks at self-care. Don't worry, the girls and her love interest do help her mellow out. I mean, seeing your entire crew die in front of you, after seeing your entire planet die in front of you, she's just not having a good time. But that will be solved, not solved, but it will mellow her out, her relationships with the other characters by the end of the story. The thing is, her bad habits really come out when she's alone and is spiraling. That's why she really loved her job as the captain of the rescue ship, because she felt like that was her life's calling. She really loved helping people and rescuing people and saving people, to the point where she even tells the others that the ship she captained didn't even have much weapons on board the ship because they wanted to fit as much food and medical supplies on board. That's how dedicated she and her team were to saving people. But because of her bad coping skills, she does have past where she did get into trouble, and it comes up a few times in the story. So for instance, she knows where all the lawless planets are. She even has history with some of the people who are on those planets, to the point where there was a kill on sight order by one of the owners of a gambling club thing, and he only cancelled that order after she saved his daughter. So there's like a whole lot of things, because like I said before, she sucks at this whole not destroying herself thing. But it really happens when she's alone. Once she's with people who are depending on her, she will do whatever she can to make their lives better. And that in turn also means she starts taking care of herself. So here is Teresa, and I hope you like her. Now on to the second character. Before I talk about her a little bit, I'm just going to talk about the artwork itself in this video. This was still when I was getting used to Clip Studio Paint, so you can actually see that Teresa's character drawings versus Jalen's there's a difference in the skill. Clip Studio Paint is a very intimidating software, but I think I've started to really get the hang of it by the time I reached Jalen's drawing. I also did these character drawings around the same time that I was doing the character drawings for Kaya and Rika's story, so you'll definitely see similarities in the progression of artwork. Like I said, I really love making characters and stories. Anyway, on to the next character. Her name is Neela, and she is best friends with two of the other characters, Jalen, part of the main trio, and Blaze, one of the side characters. She and Blaze actually have a will they won't they relationship that kind of gets on Jalen's nerves, because she just really wants them to confess their love and get together and stop irritating her. She, Jalen, and Blaze were also born on Earth, and this is their first time in space. Teresa was born, like I said, on a colony planet, but these three are from Earth, and Neela and Blaze are the ones who get captured in episode 1, which is why Jalen is forced to team up with Teresa to rescue them, and then the three of them end up on the run. She's definitely the sporty type of character, and I wanted to give her like really tanned skin and sun-bleached hair because I just imagine her as somebody who does surfing and skateboarding and all of those things. And she's also the hero type, and she loves fighting. She really likes that kind of action. But the events of episode 1 definitely leave her with some nightmares and other fears. She still believes in the I want to be a hero thing, but the events of episode 1 where she gets kidnapped and people die kind of makes reality hit her that this is not a TV show. She really was going to die if she wasn't rescued when she was. And it does make her a bit more serious when it comes to how they then deal with the problems that come up later on in the story. I say that, but that doesn't mean that her nightmares and fears and stuff really affect her personality. She's still the most emotional one out of all of them. She's Jalen's biggest hype man. Like, she loves to boast about Jalen's skills with piloting and stuff. And she's the one who is prone to sticking her foot in her mouth and getting herself into trouble and just blurting things out. But she is still a very loyal person, and she and Teresa do butt heads a bit because their goals at the end of the day is to save people, and they both have that same goal. They don't hate each other. They just have different views on how it should be done, and that can cause arguments. Especially because she doesn't really know Teresa in the beginning, so it does take a while for her to learn to trust her, but they do become close after. Now, originally, I was going to make her shorter and slimmer, but then her silhouette started to become too close to Teresa's silhouette, so I changed her to be taller and more muscular, and then I wanted to give her wilder hair, because I just have a feeling that's what she would like. She likes that kind of wildness. I also think Blaze would really like that as well. And it kind of fits in better with her personality to have the more messy hair and to be taller and more muscular, since she's the one who really likes the hand-to-hand combat. Teresa likes her guns. Neela likes her fists. And Jalen would rather just not be in a fight to begin with, but she'll support from the back. She's not that brave. But yep, that's Neela, and I hope you like her design. Let me know what you think. And now for the final character of our main trio. This is Jalen. She is the youngest of the group, and everybody treats her like the youngest. She is the shy one who isn't that confident in most things, except when it comes to flying. That's where she really shines, and it's the one thing she really feels confident in. She loves being behind the wheel, and she knows she's a good pilot, and she doesn't take crap from anybody. There's a running joke that Teresa doesn't like her piloting skills because of how they basically crash landed in episode 1, but she's actually a very, very good pilot, and she knows that, and Neela knows that, and Neela boasts about her all the time. She and Blaze are cousins, and you'll get to meet him later. I like him. This video isn't about him. She and Neela and Blaze all joined the Space Marines because they wanted to be heroes and save people, and that's the unifying force between the three of them, their desires to just be heroes. She kinda develops a slight crush on Teresa, because Teresa has that kind of intense hero type personality to her, but that really goes nowhere because, like I said, Teresa has a romance with somebody else, so poor Jalen, right? Like, everybody else has a love interest except her. But because she's like the most emotionally mature one and the team mom, I couldn't figure out any character that would go with her, and also this is supposed to be a limited story, so I didn't want to have too many things going on in the background. Maybe I'll write a side story with her meeting up with somebody who she does fall in love with. But anyway, in the trio, both Teresa and Neela can get really into their own heads and get very heated with arguments. Teresa is quiet but incredibly stubborn, and Neela is loud and opinionated. So Neela would be saying whatever she wants to say, and Teresa would either just ignore her or tell her to shut up. And that does not lead to very constructive conversations. Jalen is the one who really brings the two of them together and mellows things out between them and acts like a middleman, essentially, until Neela and Teresa actually get closer and learn to trust each other. After that, the arguments die down more. But until then, Jalen is the one who is taking care of everybody, and she's the calming one with all of them. Fun fact, my brother is actually the one who picked her colors, because I could not figure out what colors to give her, and he thought she should have some light colors to make her look cute, and then I added in that pop of red to show, she has passion beneath the cool exterior. I had originally wanted to have primary colors, with Teresa being red, Jalen having more yellow, and no, Teresa was supposed to be red, Neela was supposed to be yellow, hence the orange hair, and Jalen was supposed to be blue. But when I actually started drawing them, that didn't work out. So I thought I could change it, and can't remember if I recorded this, but you should see me try out a few different colors on her. And none of them really stuck until that last one with the blue sweater and the green pants. I could change it, but I don't think I want to. I think she looks cute. I like her brown hair and her little bob, even though normally I hate the hairstyle bobs. But it really fit her character, and I love it. So here is Jalen. Thanks again for watching. I really enjoyed drawing these characters. Lately I've been addicted to drawing digitally, and I haven't been drawing traditionally as much, which is weird because normally I'm the other way around. I'm primarily a traditional artist, but I've been enjoying this, and I think I'm finally getting the hang of Clip Studio Paint. This is version 1 that I'm using, and I'm drawing using a Huion Canvas 13. The old one, not the pro version. It's just a regular Canvas 13, and it came out back in 2020 or 2021. I bought it used on eBay for $100, and I say it's definitely worth it. It came brand new. Just, it looked like somebody opened the box, didn't want it anymore, and sent it back. So that was a really good buy. I really like it. Probably almost as much as my XP Pen 15.6 Pro. So if you like this video and you want to see the other characters, I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed, and let me know what you think about them. Any tips and tricks of Clip Studio Paint will be appreciated, because I know I haven't even scratched the surface of what version 1 can do, and I can't even imagine what version 4 would be like to use, which is why I haven't bought it yet. But yeah. And I will see you in another video where I will introduce you to the side characters of this new story. I'll see you in another video. Later.